I am Fidha Shirin. Now I am talk about David Ricardo. He was the last of the Trinity and one who erected the political economy. He universally acknowledged as the founder of classical political economy. He was born in London in 1772 of Dutch Jewish family. His masterpiece is uh, the Principle of Political Economy and Taxation. 1817 created a new epoch in the history of economic thought. The achievement of Ricardo is the found in the theory of value and distribution. We discuss Ricardo's theory. First one, theory of value. Second one, theory of wage, profit, rent. The theory of value means actual time of labor required to produce a commodity determines its value. But in the capitalist production, the value of labor which capitalist bought was greater than the amount of labor embodied in the wages he gave to it. The surplus appeared which was appropriated by the capitalists. He distinguished between value in use and value in exchange. Ricardo felt that utility is not the measure of exchangeable value, although it was absolutely essential for it. Commodities derive their value in exchange from two things: one, scarcity; second, quantity of labor which has been spent on their production. The theory of value. The value as determined by quantity of labor necessary in production is no longer identical with market price. Market price is equal to wages paid by capitalist and the average rate of profit which he has to earn if he has to continue to employ his capital. Ricardo was confused between value and price, which depends on the averaging of profits. Difference arises between the two owing to differences in capital structure. Ricardo's theory of wages and profits. Wages. Ricardo regards labor as a commodity whose value must be determined in the same way as that of any other commodity. Its natural price is that which is necessary to enable the laborers to subsist and to perpetuate their race without either increase or diminution, means reduction in size. The market price of labor differs from its natural price in accordance with the supply and demand, but it always tends to natural price which is determined by customary level of subsistence. Ricardian theory of rent. Rent is a surplus product on superior quality of land. Rent arises whenever inferior lands are brought into cultivation and hence it is differential surplus. Rent arises because good quality land is scarce in supply. Thus, rent is not to bounty of nature but due to her niggardliness. In other way, that part of produce of the earth which is paid to landlord for the use of original and indestructible powers of soil. He assumed that in every country the most fertile and most favorable land was cultivated first. So long as the most fertile land is available, the question of rent will not arise. When a population of a country increases, less fertile land, second grade land, or less favorable situated or inferior land has to be cultivated. The Ricardian theory of rent explains both intensive and extensive margin. The extensive margin means when the rent earned by a landlord is due solely to superior fertility of the land, that rent is called rent on the extensive margin. The intensive margin means rent earned from the intensive use of land is called rent on the intensive margin. The assumption of Ricardian theory is the difference in production, difference in fertility, no labor charge, perfect competition, no rent land, knowledge of fertile land, rent is not included in price, original land, indestructible qualities. The criticism of Ricardian theory is Ricardian theory of rent is indestructible powers, A grade land first, equality fertile case, objection on no rent land, rent enters into price, does not throw light on the determination on rent, no need of separate theory. The Ricardian theory of income distribution. Ricardo thought that discovery of the laws which regulates the distribution of national output among the chief economic groups should be the principal problem in economic groups should be the principal problem in economic analysis. He believed that the theory of income distribution held the key to an understanding of the whole mechanism of the economic system, especially forces that govern the progress of the economy. According to his analysis, the output of the economy is allocated among three major shares: rent, wages, and profit. Rent is the reward for the service of land and arises due to the operation of the law of diminishing returns. Rent is the difference between product of labor on marginal land and that on the given land. So it is a surplus based on differences in the quality of land. The second share is wages. It is necessary to distinguish between natural price of labor and the market price. The natural wage of price of labor is that level of wages towards which the actual or market wage will lend to go on the long run. The market wage is meant by the wage level actually prevailing in the market. The market wage is determined by the demand and supply forces. The third share in the national income profit as a residual, it is the amount left from the income total after wages and rents have been paid. Profit plays in an important role to determine the role of capital accumulation, which is the chief source of economic progress. It is profit which is a source of saving makes the capital accumulation possible. Thank you.